Important thing to remember about the empirical rule of the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. This is just a rule of thumb. It's quick. It's Dr. Stevens does very little with it. So other stat textbooks do a lot. So don't get too shook up about it. It's just this is just a quick thing we can do to figure out where we're the relative standing of every of elements or measures. Okay. So one example it's always good to look at, I think, with empirical rule is looking at SAT scores. Now, on average, this is not true from year to year, but on average, each the verbal and the math both have an average score of about 500. So that would make the mean about 1,000 of the combined tests. And each of them separately have a standard deviation of about 100. So together that would be 200. And this is why they call it standardized tests, because they take the scores and standardize them to fit this model. So if we wanted to set up a sketch for this, now I'm going to do a smooth curve, not a histogram like that, but a smooth curve, and the mean would be in the middle of 1,000, and then I'm going to go up 3 lines. I'm going to go down 3 lines representing 3 standard deviations. I'm going to add 200 each time, so that's 1,200, that's 1,400, that's 1,600. Then I'm going to subtract 200, so that's 800. 600, then down to 400. So what can you do with this? Well, what suppose somebody got a well, what's the probability that somebody scored between 800 and 1,200 on their combined scores? Well, if we look at that, one standard deviation below to one standard deviation above the mean accounts for 68 of the scores. So that would account. That's in right in here. Actually, can I do a highlighter? No, that's an eraser. It's going to erase everything here. Let me see if I can't do a highlighter for yellow. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So that represents that area there, right? One standard deviation below to one standard deviation above, and I know it's that because it's going from 800 to 1,200. So 68% of the test scores will be between 800 and 1,200. So average, right? They're average scores, and a little bit below, a little bit above. Okay, so and then what if you had? So the other thing that's more really interesting about this is what's the probability? Oops, let me do back. What's the probability that a test score, I'll call it X, is greater than 1,600 points? Well, what's really cool about, I think is really cool about this, is I see that 1,600 is 3 standard deviations above the mean, and that's one of the nice 68, 95, 99.7 numbers, the empirical rule numbers. It covers 99.7% of the test scores. So the test takers. So in here, in this range in here, that's where the 99.7 comes from. And then if we wanted to know, well, we want to know the quiz probability is looking for that area, that probability right there. So if we think about it, if we do 100% minus 99.7%, that's 0.3%. So that's that area, that area to the right, and down here, 3 standard, so it would be down there. But we only want half of it since they're symmetric. We're going to divide that by 2. So that tells me 0.15% of all test takers actually score higher than 1,600. It just doesn't get reported out. And conversely, sadly, 0.15% of test takers score worse than 400. So it just doesn't get reported out because it's so low. Where did I score? It's scary that I still remember this, but I got a 10. What was it? Is it 1060? Higher verbal scores than math scores, believe it or not. Maybe you do believe that. Look at my math. So that means I fell right about here. Average in the average range. It's a little bit above average, but it would have been just as likely if I retook it. Could fall down there, could still be classified as average. So that's all the 68, 95, 99.7 rule does. It's a rule of thumb, give you some estimates. z-scores and percentiles work a lot better for us. Okay, we'll study this again in chapter 6, so you'll get some more time to do that. And that's where we take off from here. I mean, pretty much, by then we're going to leave. We're going to really just concentrate on normal curves and take it from there. But until then, though, I mean, not every curve is normal, so we got to know how to deal with them and you know analyze them. Okay, so hope this helps. Hope it isn't confusing.